Hello and welcome in, my gorgeous, glorious human being. I'm Mia here with Spiritual Society. I can't wait to do today's reading with you. What is your ex thinking about you right now? Let's find out. Let's pull some cards. Let's dive in. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. So what I'd love for you to do is pull the seat, grab your intuition journal, and choose between these two crystals. So your crystal 1 is a gorgeous tumbled amethyst. Your crystal 2 is a blue lace agate. Take a breath, let your intuition start to kick in. If you feel pulled towards both crystals, pull up a chair, stay for both readings. There's something there for you. Inhale, exhale, and when you feel pulled, make a choice right now. Hello and welcome aboard, my amethyst. Let's begin. So we're going with the amethyst, so I think we should start with our lavender deck and just see what our lavender deck wants to pull out of this brain, out of this heart. Oh, I'm already losing cards. I've got things falling everywhere. Yeah, so that might be the kind of day that it is for our lavender deck. She might just want to spill things everywhere. She's having a little bit of a time. Well, you know what? A huge little chunk of cards just fell out. And that's what we got. So let's see what we have here. What did our lavender deck need for us to know about what is going on? Oh boy. Oh my. Okay. All right. Well, we start with the star. We have the Page of Wands. We have the King of Cups. Right after that, we have the King of Swords. We have the Page of Cups. And we have the Nine of Wands. Okay. Our lavender deck's a tiny bit hard to see sometimes, but I am hoping that the sun does us justice and gives you good vision to see what's going on over here. So starting with the start, right now your ex, our lavender deck is throwing us some information. So in this information, first thing that comes through big and loud, the very first card that I saw come out of this cluster was our star card, and our star card is very exposed. She is normally naked. I have little paper cover up on her for YouTube for censoring and such, but she's very exposed. She's very open. She's very giving. She is bright. She is celestial. She is a star. There is something about you that is so magnetic that he cannot look away. He can't help but look for you everywhere he is. There is something where things just remind you of him everywhere he goes, and there's something about you that doesn't really know what you're bringing to the table. You're so involved in your world. You're doing your thing. You're in your, you're giving here. You're doing this. You're in your element, and you don't even really realize how you're being viewed. And there is something so remarkable about that he sees that you don't really have a concept or an understanding of how celestial you are, how radiant, how shiny. And I think he also sees that you're taking care of yourself right now. There's a part of you that is really taking care of yourself, making sure that what needs to happen for you happens for you. The Page of Wands comes in next. So I have two pages here surrounding our King of Cups and our King of Swords. I have the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups surrounding the King of Cups and the King of Swords. So I'm really seeing, these are these youthful messenger cards. I'm seeing this like need to tell you, need to reach out, this need to say things. And I think it's not just about like, hey, I want to reach out and say, hey, how you doing? It's also like, hey, I want to tell you about this thing. Oh, this thing happened to me. And the first person I think of when this happens to me that I want to talk to about it is you. This exciting thing happening in my life, the inspirational thing that's happening in my life, career-related thing feels like might be happening in his life. He wants to talk about it with you. He wants to mull it over with you. You are the person he first thinks of that he wants to deliver messages to. And we also have the Page of Cups surrounding these two kings. So I'm also feeling like this person wants to talk to you about their heart as well, their feelings, their emotions, the things that are coming up for them about you, about their world, about how they're recognizing certain things and certain patterns and things they've done wrong and things they regret and things that feel just like heart space, emotional space that they're just dying to tell you and they're thinking about telling you. So it feels like there's a lot of communication that wants to be happening. So if you are thinking about this person on a semi-frequent basis, it could just be that their energy is like, chup, chup, come right in, zinging you, and you're getting that feel like, that person, because I think they have a lot of energy turned towards you. Even if they're not in your world at all, just in their memory, just in their body, just in their energy field. Then we do have that King of Cups and we have that King of Swords. And I've got to say, I wouldn't really expect to pull this for your ex. This is not bad. I feel like this person may be working on himself. He may be getting himself together, really trying to figure out, hey, I wasn't, those regrets, those things that, that are showing up. I'm also seeing, the Nine of Wands here at the very end of this stack. And that feels like, I understand why our lavender deck just spit these cards out at us, because this is a kind of violence of feeling and emotion and things going on with them. And there's just this presence, this influx of energy coming from this person. So I do feel like this person's been in healing mode. They've been in protector mode. They've been in defensive mode. Take care of, protect, so that I can get back up and I can be at capacity again. But they really weren't at capacity. But there is a part of them that is getting to capacity, where they're getting to a place where, like, hey, I'm really coming right with myself. I'm getting right with my clarity, my understanding, my brain, and they're really communicating this to you on a different level. They could be actually communicating with you, because the Page of Wands, Page of Cups, it's a lot of, it's a lot of push to communicate, a lot of push to want to say, to tell, to interfere with your energy. And, and I feel like some really strong stuff is popping up in this person. These deep feelings, this deep emotion, this deep insight, and this deep clarity, this deep understanding, this deep knowing. It feels like this person is, I don't know, this doesn't feel terrible, which it could for an ex, right? There's a reason that it hasn't worked out, but this doesn't feel that way. You know what? I feel like staying in these lavender pinks. I want to stay with our pink sassy deck, because I'm not ready. She is sassy. She loves to spit cards out. Apparently, just like our lavender deck, taking tips and notes from our pink deck to see what's what. But I think we're gonna find those cards. We're gonna pull those cards. So let's see what we have here. Yes, let's see what we have here from our sassy pink deck about this person and what they are thinking about you right now. Okay, we've got 6 cards from our sassy pink deck. Beautiful, thank you, appreciate you. Let's see what we've got. Hi, 6 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles. I don't know. The 10 of Swords reversed, the King of Wands, and the 5 of Swords reversed. This is tricky. Oh boy. There is some stuff coming through. I don't feel terrible about this energy. It feels kind of winning. It's winning me a little bit. So we have the 6 of Wands, which is a very winning card. And I'm feeling this energy to want to win you back, to want to try to gain you back. And they're like gathering up this confidence to try to be in that space. And I do think that they are gaining confidence. They're King of Cups, they're King of Swords. They're in this space where there's growth going on. There are things going on. We have the we have the 8 of Pentacles in here. I think that they're following some new habits, some new routines. They're like getting on top of their stuff. They're getting on top of themselves. They're getting, like, hey, I needed to do some things and I wasn't doing the things and I wasn't showing up the way I need to show up. And I'm doing those things now. I'm working on it. They were in a space of healing. They've been in this space of healing. I'm also seeing that they've been in this space. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around these cards like crazy, but all the messages just pop out. We have the 10 of Swords reversed. It's a card of completion, the ending of something, the beginning of something. And I'm feeling like there was like a stop motion when you left their life, or when you two became exes, when you two became, and they're not willing to really walk away from this. They're not really willing to, like, hey, I'm not totally willing to have the continuation without you right now. Right now, I want to be paused in a space that is available to you. I want to be paused and available and ready for you. And that's still where they are. They're not in a space of moving on away from you. They haven't moved on. They haven't walked away. But there is a part of them that is like coming up from a space that was inactive. So there was an inactive part of them in the relationship, in the connection, that wasn't showing up the way it needed to, that is moving, that is in a space of new movement. And that winning energy, Three of Pentacles, I see this again. This is a card of kind of, this gorgeous like architectural building card of, hey, I need divine resources. I need to build something and I need some help to do that. I want to research. I want to know. I want to find out. I want to get guidance. I want to ask my friends. I want to bounce questions off of people who are experts. I want to watch expert dialogue on this, particularly on how I reconstruct who I am, how I get the blueprint for what I want. And again, Eight of Pentacles, doing the work, showing up, being consistent, which feels good. Again, it doesn't feel bad. King of Wands, our third king that we're holding in this. And this just feels like this energy that is like, I want to show you. I want you to know who I am right now. I want you to see how I've changed. I want you to see how I am becoming this different kind of masculine energy that is capable. Maybe I wasn't capable before, but I am capable now. I have a new unstoppable energy behind me that won't quit, that won't stop, that won't pull away when things get hard, that won't give up. And our King of Wands is a non-giving up card. It is a, hey, no obstacles are getting in the way. I'm after this thing. I'm on it. I'm on my path. I'm lit up. I'm on fire. I'm passionate about what I'm doing. And I'm going after what I want in a very unstoppable way. And then the Five of Swords reverse pops up, which I love too. I feel like this person realizes they were cruel in certain ways. This is rather a cruel card. This isn't a reverse position. So I think they know, hey, looking back, I know I said the wrong thing, or I didn't say what I needed to say. I did the wrong thing. It was me. Like, I am taking responsibility for my actions. They might be unforgivable. I don't know. They might be something that you just need to walk away from. I don't know. But hey, coming through this, I understand that I am to blame. I understand that I was not showing up in a good way, and it's a way that I would prefer not to see myself that way again, and that I would not like to be that person. Do you think we need our old trusty deck? Because I do. Our old trusty deck sometimes just delivers, and I would really like some delivery here. So let's get some delivery from our old trusty deck to come in and kind of mother this ship, to come in and guide this ship and see what else we need to know about this ex of yours. Maybe we can step away from his thoughts, but just get to anything else we need to know. I'm only pulling 3 cards. We're going to come back to you. We're not done with you yet, but I want to ask a question next. So I have the Hierophant, I have the Judgment card, and I have the Hanged Man. So now what I'm seeing from our old trusty deck is the Hierophant. It gets into social norms. It can get into religiosity. It can get into studying and being studious. And I'm feeling this in a way that is like, hey, I have been really studious. We saw that with our Three of Pentacles, sort of that blueprint architecting, crafting, finding the resources. So I do feel that here. But I do also feel that social pressure, that there is like a sort of social, like, oh, I should be doing other things, and I haven't been doing the things I need to be doing to keep up with everybody else. So I do feel like there's a little bit of a drive here from a place of social pressure to move forward, to listen to society, to do what is expected. And then we have the Judgment card right after that. So the Judgment card's a gorgeous card. It is a card of making choices, making decisions. It gets really joyful once a choice is made. So I feel like this person is kind of on the precipice of making a choice, making a decision. You may want to do, like a fuller reading on like personalized of what this looks like for you and this person. I'm gonna make sure there's a link below, tagged, so that you can you can take a look at that, because this is interesting. This is interesting. This is showing up with a lot of information, and it feels like, oh, time might be of the essence with this person. I don't know if that means you should reach out. I don't know if that means that you should wait because they're going to reach out to you, or if it means that they're still doing growth, or what's happening. But I am seeing some decision making happening on the very near future, on the cusp of the energy here. And then we also have the Hangman. So the Hangman gives me a little bit of the opposite vibe of our Hierophant. So I feel like they're at odds with themselves. That part of them wants to do what social pressure is telling them. Hey, you should have done this by now. You should be here by now. You should be there by now. You should be, with a person. You should be paired up and all of the things. And then the Hangman is kind of like, yeah, okay, but I really want to do things in my own time. I don't want to feel pressured from that outside source, and I really want to be able to make my own decision outside of that noise. So I feel like there's a part of them is being pressured, and a part of them that is like resolutely sticking to their own inner guns, that they're like, okay, I'm going to do this in my own timing when it feels right. It doesn't mean that their own timing is necessarily on point, that that can get into a lot of human stuff of like, hey, I don't feel as, confident as I could. So maybe it would be better not to tap back into this, or, have whatever may be coming through there. So that's pretty interesting. That Judgment card it does give me the time sensitivity vibe. Let's take a look back into our old trusty deck, and I just want to ask our old trusty deck for guidance on you and this person. Is this a person you should even contemplate revisiting? Is there any point contemplating revisiting this? Let's see what we have. So let's see if this is real change, or this is not real change. Are they just full of it? Are they just chasing you because you're not in their life right now? We have the Page of Cups again. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Star. I pulled the Star over as I set it down. That's what we started with, folks. That is what we started with. And we have the Page of Cups once again. We pulled it in our lavender deck. It's sandwiched with the Page of Wands, the King of Cups, the King of Swords. Page of Cups coming through again. Okay, is this somebody you should even contemplate? The first thing that comes to mind here. Okay, all three cards really feel like, hey, first of all, listen to the guidance of your heart and your emotions. Do you feel emotionally connected to this person still? Do you still feel emotional about this person? Do you still feel deep feelings about this person? Is there something that you can think of off the top of your head in a moment about fun you had with this person that hits your heart? Like, oh, that was really fun. We laughed about that. Oh, we had a good laugh. And it touches my heart to think about it. The next thing that comes up is our Queen of Wands, and I pulled the King of Wands, of course, in my sassy pink deck. And what I'm feeling here is the cards are saying, hey, you are so powerful, and you have been in your power for a long time. Maybe not all the time. This could be up and down and topsy-turvy, but you have an underwriting current of some serious power, some serious Queen of Wands power, that you're in your purpose, you're in your drive, you're in your fire energy. You have momentum to you that this person might not have had, which I think is why we got so much influx of, hey, this is what I'm doing now. This is where I am. This is who I'm becoming. This is the energy I've been sitting into. And now I've got this King of Cups, King of Swords, King of Wands energy. So I feel like the cards are saying, yeah, there's a part of him that could be a good match to you, that could be a really strong pairing to you in your energy. That's what they're striving for in a lot of ways, to be the person who could match you. That they were in that broken 9 of Wands space before, and 10 of Swords space, that they weren't able to really move forward with any type of real momentum towards what they wanted, and that that now they're in a new space of momentum that it was sort of started by you, by the loss of you. And then we have the Star as our last pull on this one. And the Star, I do feel like it's saying, hey, first of all, you have to keep shining your light and like understanding how bright and radiant you are. Keep being that bright, radiant being that you are. Don't stop or pull away from that. But also, I think that this gets into hope, and this gets into new love and a space of like, hey, if you go back to this person, if you revisit this person, you do have to see it completely from fresh eyes. Like as you interact with them, if this were the first time I were interacting with this person, would I accept this? Would I want this person? Like if this were just our first interaction, would I be like, yeah, let's do this again? Or would you be like, nah, red flags, out you go. If you had no history together, previous history together, that whatever happens from here forward, there is something really new. And if you can approach it with that new, fresh energy on top of it, it might be worth exploring and letting yourself, pour back into. It might be worth pouring back into. Wow. Oh my. Okay. Let's pull 2 action guidance cards for you from the universe, from source, whatever you ascribe to. Just asking, oh, well, there we go. We have one that sort of just skyrocketed right out. Okay, and then we have 2. Okay. Oh, I'm feeling 3. There's one on top here that I want to pull 2. Okay, so our skyrocketing card was the sun. Love it. The sun rises, and so does this card. This card rises just like the sun, and it is the sun. And we have the 9 of Cups. Don't mind if I do. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. Well, okay. Little bit of action guidance from the universe, from source. The sun, first of all, coming up. And this is saying, be positive, be optimistic. It doesn't have to even be about this person, but the universe wants you to go into your most optimistic space about everything. How is everything working out for me? How could this have been the best blessing that ever happened? Is there a world in which what happened between the two of you could have been the greatest blessing for you? Is there a world in which that could have been the greatest blessing for you to be able to move forward? Is with this person or without this person? Is there a world in which anything that feels like it could have a little bit of negative energy around it, that any of that could actually be for your greatest good, moving you forward into your greatest desires? Really look for those silver linings. Really look for that sunshine feel. Let yourself be buoyant. Find time today to be buoyant, to be joyful, to be optimistic, to be innocent, to be free. Go bounce around, go skip down the street if you want to. That sounds fun to me. I think I'd like to take this advice from the universe as well. So let's go skip down the street together. But just like getting into that yummy energy, put on a song that makes you want to bounce, that makes you want to like feel playful and sunshiny. Maybe, like search out songs with the word sun in the title, and choose one of those. And then we also have the 9 of Cups, which is a great card. This is the universe saying, hey, things are coming in for you, and things want to come in for you. Things are available to you. This is sometimes called the genie in the bottle card. This is like a card of heart desires, overflow, filled up, feeling good. It is a good card. It is a happy card. It is a heart space and emotional fulfillment card of things really dropping in for you. So the universe is saying, hey, look for the gifts, because gifts are coming to you. Things are dropping in for you. I want you to look, and that's the action, is just to look. Make sure you are open to it. Make sure you are available to it. Make sure you expect it. Expect the good things. Expect the things that you already feel so much gratitude for. Expect the happy, sunshiny things that are in your world. Expect those. Our action item number 3 is the 7 of Pentacles. And I do feel like this is the universe saying, hey, patience is still a virtue. I know sometimes we want to just rush through life and we want everything to happen right darn now. Well, I want it, and I want it right now. And this card is just saying it's okay. All right. Yeah, it's great. Pacing, sometimes it's understandable to want things and want them right now, but take your time. find joy in the growth that is happening around you. You wouldn't plant a seed or a new tree and expect it to be giant right away. You would find joy in seeing it growing the whole time. There are things growing around you that are almost at the end of the growth cycle, that are almost ready to harvest for you. So find joy in that. Oh, this is where I am in this cycle. How glorious. This cycle will change and it will be fully grown and ready to harvest soon. How beautiful is that? New things will then begin growing, and then I'll plant new seeds, and there will be new surprises in my life, and I'll get the pleasure of seeing those grow as well. So don't you fall into the social pressure or the outside pressure of timing, that things have to happen in a certain amount of time. Let yourself find joy in having patience, joy in the process, joy in the growth that is happening for you. Okay, dipping into an oracle card. Why don't we do 2 oracle cards? Let's do 2. So I have 2 separate decks for our oracle cards that I brought out today. So I say we get a card from both of those decks. What do you think? Let's see what we have from our power of the elements. So right from the center, we have empowerment. Fire. Embrace your personal power. Absolutely. My Queen of Wands, wands representing that fire. Lean into your fire energy, what you feel lit up about, what you feel passionate about, what you feel driven about. The Queen of Wands is also optimistic, which makes so much sense with the sun. The sun card is tons of sunflowers. The Queen of Wands card also is sunflowers. Maybe you go out and buy yourself some sunflowers. Buy yourself some sun-themed jewelry or sun-themed t-shirt or sunflower-themed something, or grow a sunflower in your garden. Whatever you want to do, lean into that feeling of, hey, I have my personal power. And if you need a little ritual for taking your power back, I encourage you to go do one. This is something I'm actually going to really recommend, is write the word power giant on a piece of paper, put it a little away from you, and I want you to imagine everywhere that your power has gone, it has dissembled, it has been taken from you, events and people and situations, and your power has dispersed in certain ways. And I want you to do a reclamation. You bring it back to you. You bring that power back to you. And when you're ready, you pick up that piece of paper again and you claim it as your own, and you see those pieces being filled back in. It's all yours. You have it all. You hold it all. That would be a recommendation for you if you would like to do it today. By the way, let's drop a sun below. Yes, for that power feeling, or a fire, either one, for that feeling of power and sunshine. And let's also subscribe. Let's also like this video. Let's do all of those. Let's do all 3 of those things. And let's go ahead and drop a comment about if you're going to do that or not. I would love to hear if you're going to do that little ritual today. I encourage it for you. I feel strongly that you should. And anything else that you feel pulled to share, I would love to hear. Okay, let's pull another card for you. Let's pull another card from you from our Angels and Ancestor deck. And we're going again right for the center. And we have Fire Guardian. Come on. Come on. Embrace your personal power. Hey, fire. Hey, fire. Okay. Sunshine, fire, fire, wands, queen, fire. Okay. All right. We get it. We get it. Ignite your passions. Well, you've heard it here first, folks. It is time to light yourself up. It is time to light yourself on fire, metaphorical fire, to stay safe, to light yourself up to what is it that drives you? What is it that makes you feel passionate? What is it that makes you feel driven in life, that you want to be alive? You want to wake up tomorrow. You can't wait because why? What is that? Lean into that. It can have nothing to do with this person whatsoever, but it is a very attractive energy, and leaning into that energy will attract what you need into your life and what you want and desire. That 9 of Cups, hey, genie in the bottle, bring it all to me energy, and let those things just grow, 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 grow. Okay, well, that was remarkable, and I loved it, and I hope that you did too. Okay, if you want to wear a little amethyst today, I would recommend that as well. And just lean into that energy. Maybe you want to wear some red for that fire, or you want to wear some yellow for that sunshine. I would recommend those things this week. Maybe this is a time to experiment. If you have red lipstick in your arsenal of tools, maybe you test that out. Maybe you put on a red top. Maybe you wear the yellow pants. I have yellow pants. But whatever feels really good and that you feel pulled to, I recommend that this week. Yeah. Whoo, 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 whoo. Okay. My gorgeous Queen of Wands, off you go into the sunshine. I'm going to see you again so very soon. Mwah. Mwah. Ah, Mia. Welcome in, my blue lace agate. Let's begin. What is your ex thinking about you right now? Now, we started with our blue lace agate. I would like to start in our blue deck. So let's begin with our blue deck, which happens to be a very incisive deck. I find this deck really gets into all kinds of good answers that you didn't even know you were looking for. So let's see what we have. Okay, we're getting started with this energy. What is he thinking about you right now? What is going on in that head, in that energy, in that heart? What is going on? Okay. All right, I'm feeling one more. Let's get one more here. Yes. All right, this is what we've got. So from our blue deck, surprises for you and me. I haven't turned them over yet. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the King of Cups. We have the World reversed. We have the Emperor reversed. And we have the Lovers reversed. Okay, all right. Yeah, good answers. Good, interesting information. First of all, Five of Pentacles. This is a card of desperation. It is, I'm going to just transplant my little blue lace so that it doesn't make a little clinky noise every time I almost touch it. This is a card of desperation. It's a card of hunger. It's a card of need. It is a card of being out in the cold winter with no food and, being poor and broken and hurt and it is feeling like, it feels like he needs you. He feels desperate without you. He feels desperate for you. He feels like, oh my goodness, I would be happy to be in this place of pain and desperation if only you were with him. He'd rather be with you in the discomfort and the pain and the misery together than to be there doing it the way that he's doing it right now. But the separation from you has caused this really gnawing hunger. I just want you to imagine you just sort of being starving. Oh, I'm starving. I gotta eat something. Oh, I need something. Oh, I need it. And it's cold and it's awful. That feeling of being without you. The Knight of Wands makes me feel like there's a part of him that really wants to ride right into you. Just like, hey, I want to find you. I want to be there when you show up somewhere. I just want to insert myself into your world bravely, boldly, on fire, ready to go into things with you and do it in this, which requires a lot of courage. Find your words. It requires a lot of courage, and there's a part of him that wants to have that courage, that wants to kind of do something courageous for you, and thinks about doing some courageous act of something to get your attention again, or to just be in your world again. King of Cups comes up, and hey, King of Cups is a pretty good king. So this is a lot of feeling and emotion. He feels deeply for you. He feels this ocean of feelings, this ocean of emotions around him. And in some ways, he's really feeling like he's landing in it. This might be something he couldn't touch before. This might be something brand new, a new place for him that he hadn't been able to really get to, an understanding of his own feelings and emotions. But boy, is he feeling like he is now. He's really sitting into that feeling now. Now we also have the World reversed. So the World reversed is a transitional card, is the card of something ending, the card of something beginning. It's so interesting. In certain ways, this feels a lot like the first reading it. There's certain similarities. This transition, it feels like he's There's a stopped transition that he's not moving on right now. He's not moving past you. He's not moving out into the world and being amazing by himself or like finding someone else. It's this feeling of things just it's stop motion now. There's no new beginning happening. There's a stalled out aspect to him because of your absence and the way that he feels about you right now. The Emperor reversed also popping up here. So I do feel like there's also some negative aspects of him that are popping up in this, that it's not just, oh, I'm in tune with my emotions, so I want to do something brave and bold and amazing and insert myself in your world. It's also a little bit like I want to be recognized. I want you to see what I've achieved. I want you to see how far I've come. I want your attention. I want your attention on me. I want you to know how well I'm doing, even though it doesn't seem like he's doing that well at all, except in his emotions and connecting it with that aspect of himself. It seems like, there's a part of him that wants to control the narrative with the two of you, that wants to be able to control what happens and how you react and how things move forward, if they can move forward. And then we have the Lovers reversed. So I do feel like there's a part of him that just feels like, hey, this felt like it could have been the soul connection that didn't happen, the one that got away, the one that could have been, what that you could have had, and maybe what should have been, what you should have been able to have together. This feeling that something is really desperately wrong. Something feels really very desperately wrong. I want to pull into my gold deck after this because it complements the blue deck very well. So let's complement that blue deck very well. Let's see what we have in our gold deck. So let's jump into this. Hey, hi, ooh, hey, yep, okay, we got a lot of stuff going on. There's something coming here. I can feel that energy sort of slicing up, and there's a lot of like, hey, oh, me. I have something to say. So we're staying in that aspect of him and what he's thinking about you now and where he's at and what's going on and what is happening in this energy, what is happening with him and his heart. Okay, all right, here we go. So let's take a look. Surprises for both of us. Knight of Wands reversed. Knight of Wands, the second card that I pulled in our first blue deck. So Knight of Wands reversed. There we go. Okay, Six of Swords makes a lot of sense. Ten of Cups reversed makes a lot of sense. The Star. A lot of similar. Come on, why are our cards being so good to us? King of Cups, teaching us lessons, giving us the drop. We have the High Priestess. Okay, we got more answers. We got more stuff. Let's see what we've got. So this person wants to step into that bravery. I mean, we have that initial feeling, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I'm starving, oh, I'm desperate, I'm needy, I need to, yeah, and then, oh, but I want to be bold. I want to be brave. I want to run right into your orbit and shake things up and have a big proclamation or have something big and bold to say or to do something that wins you back. But ultimately, our gold deck is saying, yeah, okay, well, sure, he feels that way. But he is not. This is like this, like, I'm going to try to go, but no, I can't. No, I don't have that bravery. No, I don't feel, I don't have that kind of momentum to move forward. This kind of feeling of like, yeah, he might want to. He might have that feeling like he wants to run in, but he doesn't really have it right now to do that. That doing energy of actually moving into your orbit and being brave and bold, it's not so much in existence. That's more of just like a desire that's kind of like, Now we have the Six of Swords, so instead, I feel like he is kind of moving away from you. He is kind of moving forward. It's slowly, sadly, like trying desperately to let you go. Obviously, he's not doing a very good job. We can see we have the World reversed, all of these things popping up that are just saying like, your energy is still very much with him, but he wants to be moving on. He wants to be letting this go. He doesn't want to live in this energy anymore, and he doesn't have anything to like move forward with. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of hope for him being able to gain the bravery he would need to insert himself back into your life. The Ten of Cups reversed. So again, another card of completion. Well, the world is a card of transition, but a card's of completion and the ending of something, the beginning of something. It's a gorgeous card of a fulfillment of like all these gorgeous emotions and feelings and everything that you want to feel coming in. It is kind of, I like to call it a happy ever after card. And this is in a reverse position. So he kind of feels like this isn't happening for me. There is no happy ever after. There is no, oh, it's going to be like a movie and we're going to get back together and things are going to be okay. It feels like very like down in the dumps, like, you know, I don't think that that can happen. I don't feel like there can be a happy ever after for me. I don't feel like I can have everything I want. I don't feel like all the emotions and feelings can come in for me. Just kind of this feeling like things are really falling short, and he's kind of falling short for himself. Maybe he did before within this relationship as well, but certainly after this, you know, like he's out of it. He's got all these feelings and emotions about it, but he can't seem to do anything with them. And he's not having a very successful time moving on from you. Now, next we have the Star. And I do think this is just saying, you know, like he sees you as this this exquisite being, that you are a star to him, that you are this like radiant being that he can't look away from, that feels like, oh, it's precious, you're precious. And he just wants to keep gravitating towards you and looking towards you and the way that you give and the way you are and the way you're just so yourself and the way that you take care of things and the way that your heart is, and just this feeling of hope when he's with you, and this feeling of renewal when he's with you, and it feels like he would like to start things again. He wants to be in your space. He wants to have hope for something new with you. Then we have the King of Cups again, repeat card, King of Cups coming back in, and this does, you know, there's a lot of energy here that is like, I don't know. Would you want to insert yourself back into this energy? This is tricky. This is a tough energy to you know, there's a lot going on here, and he doesn't seem to be very successfully like, okay, I can take action. I'm in a space of taking action. I'm in a space of taking care of myself. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like he's taking care of himself very well at all. But he does have a lot of feeling and emotion for you. Boy, oh boy. It's really coming through, and he's really landed and grounded in that. Whether that was showing through before, when the connection before things separated, or if that's something new that he's really discovered and landed in, it's hitting home because it's coming up twice that he has landed in it. He knows, he has the feelings, he has the emotions, he has those, it's just coming. It's a deep understanding of his own heart, his own depth, his own and it is a solid masculine energy within that. And I do like that. I do like that. And then we have the High Priestess. So also, I think he sees you as this ethereal being that is mysterious and able to look to intuition, look to answers that aren't available to everyone else. They're not available to him, that like you would know what to do, you would know what to say. You have this quality to him that is, I mean, we see it with the Star too. You know, stars aren't something we can just reach out and touch. It is a little like removed, a little better than, a little like exquisite and a little scary in certain aspects. It's not a complete understanding of like an understanding that you contain things he doesn't understand, that you contain things that he is not participating in, that you contain multitudes, that you contain a real depth with you and a real wisdom and a real understanding, and that you just are this sort of mysterious like floating being of presence, that you have this presence that's just, you know, it expands out around you. Okay, I feel like my old trusty deck, she always has something to say. She just wants to be part of the conversation, you know? She wants to participate. She raises her hand. She raises her energetic little hand and it's like, hey, okay, I just got a few things to say here. So I'm only going to pull 3 cards. I'm doing this the same way I did that first pull, because I do want to just pull 3 cards here for you, and then I want to ask questions. So I'm pulling 3 cards from Old Trusty deck so she can have a say, and then we will continue on. So hey, in my Old Trusty deck, hey, okay, we got the Page of Cups, we've got the Page of Swords, 2 pages, and then we have the 4 of Swords, another Swords card. So the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords. This is telling me that there there's this feeling of like, oh, I want to give you messages. I want to tell you things. I want to tell you about my clarity, about my understanding that I'm having with all of this. And I want to tell you about my heart space. I want to tell you about how much I feel for you. I want to tell you, I want to talk to you, I want to communicate with you. It is this feeling of like, hey, I've written out all these text messages and then deleted them. I've written all this stuff and I've deleted it. And I'm having these fake conversations with you. And I'm getting through, trying to like sift through my thoughts to see if I can even make coherent sense to anyone, me, that feeling. And then there's the Four of Swords here as well. So I do feel like there's also this piece that goes between like all of this. This feels like very chaotic mental energy. And I do think there's a part of him also that's like, okay, I need a rest from this. Like, we need to put this somewhere else for a little while because this is a lot. And it is a lot. You can feel that just by the words, I'm using to describe everything. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy that's not really going anywhere. It's just sort of spinning around in circles. It doesn't really have anywhere to go. And it comes back to the point of all the feelings and emotions and like not wanting to move forward, but also having to move on and leave, and wanting to reach out, but can't reach out. And then all of this stuff is just circling itself. It's like a little tornado. And there's a part of him that also just needs to take a rest, to take a break, to distract, to disconnect. That is really sort of laying him out in a way, making him just break off things in his life where he's just like, clear out the space. I can't think about all of this anymore. I want to tap into our old trusty deck and ask about you and this person. Is there anything interesting here that we should be looking at? Like, should you be thinking about reaching out to this person? I'm not convinced. I mean, perhaps this person's already reached out to you. I'm not convinced that this person's going to get up the nerve to reach out to you based on what we're reading here. So let's just see if there's anything. Is there anything here for you? Obviously, this person is in your mind or you would not be here right now. So is there a reason for that you might want to reconnect with this person? We pulled the High Priestess for you in how they are thinking about you. We pull the High Priestess reversed here in this question. The Knight of Cups here in this question. The Ace of Cups here in this question. Well, I would say, first of all, the High Priestess reversed is kind of like you do house all those things that he sees. That mysterious quality, that wisdom, that deep intuition that you have. But there is possibly a part of you right now that is disconnected from your own intuition, your own understanding of what it is you actually feel about this person. You might have some colored glasses on, seeing things a certain way. Could be that you're just seeing things in too positive a light, or you could be seeing things in too negative of a light to go back into it at this point, at this moment. But I do think you need to get right with yourself. I do believe our old trusty deck is saying, hey, you do need to tap into your intuition and you need to get right and clear with what it is you're actually telling yourself, what is actually coming up for you. And that could be an intention if you really want to figure this out, an intention for the next, 24 hours, next 2 days. I think in 24 hours, you can find that. It feels like that you can find a space where you're sitting right with your own intuition, your own understanding of your feelings and yourself, of what is real and what is not real, what is right and what is not right, what's on the in-between, and understanding that there's gray area here. But I do think you have to be intentional about it if you decide that you want that answer. So really like setting aside some time to take some intuition walking, doing some, maybe some intuition meditation, stream of consciousness journaling, saying things out loud. You can record voice notes for yourself. You can delete them right away. That's fine. But just getting it out there and understanding that is what you are doing, or you could just talk out loud to yourself. But I do think that there is something that is important here for you to understand and for you to find for yourself. Now, outside of that, our old trusty deck also says, if you do decide to walk into this person's orbit once again, I do think you are going to find something perhaps different than what you left behind. And we pulled the King of Cups for him twice, 2 cards in 2 separate decks, in his, energy and his thoughts. Now we're pulling the Knight of Cups. So this is really telling me you won't immediately understand his depth of feeling, but you will have feeling that is coming towards you and being offered up. So it will be coming through in a much lighter touch than the actual intensity with which he feels. So if you do reach out and you do start talking, then you'll get a feeling for those feelings that are coming up. You'll get a taste of what he's going through with his emotions and his feelings for you, but you're not going to be getting the full meal of what is there. And that could be just scared to lay it all on you or to put it all out there. And maybe it's not a good time for him to put it all out there. You might agree with that as well. Like, hey, that's too much for me. I don't know. Like, I just want to see if this could go somewhere. I just want to see what's changed. I just want to investigate, and it's too much to put on me, all of those feelings and emotions. But I do think that you would be met with, our card is telling us that you would be met with some, hey, here, this is what's happening. This is where I've landed a little bit. Like, I do want to tell you these things. I want you to know pieces of my heart. And the Ace of Cups comes in. Ace is bringing in new opportunities. This is a glorious card to pull in any type of romantic situation. It is a heart overflow. It is the overflow of feelings and emotions. It is a good card. I mean, it is something that, like, hey, this might be worth investigating. This might be worth investigating, and there might be something actually some really strong, good potential here for something new that overflows you. Potential, okay? But again, you got to follow that intuition. You have to get right with what's going on inside of your soul, what's going on inside of yourself. And that card is telling us, even if you're like, I know what's going on in my soul, I know what's going on in my intuition, that card is saying, hey, be curious. Be curious if you could be seeing things from a perspective that is very one-sided, or a perspective that is just one glance. That's not the full thing of what you could be seeing. Let's go into our pink sassy deck and just ask for some action items for you. Some action items from the universe about what you should be doing with your precious self right now. Now, this can have to do with this person. Maybe you should be reaching out to this person. Maybe not. But I also want to leave this as an open door. Like, if there's something important that you need to be doing for you, is there something important that you need to be doing in your world that's going to make some kind of huge, big change, bring something big and bold into your life, take you closer to your desired life, take you to your desired outcomes? Let's see what we have in our pink sassy deck. We have the Six of Cups reversed. Hi, we have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the High Priestess reversed. Well, I love our decks. Thank you. Good, clear answers, right? Third time we are pulling the High Priestess. I can't even really remember. It has to have been at least a week since I've pulled the High Priestess, period. 3 times this reading, 2 times in a reversed position. Twice in a reversed position. I do not orchestrate, it's going to be reversed in this deck and reversed in that. No, it is just that way. That is something. So, action items for you. So if you did, I'm just going to go right to it because there's no ignoring this. If you did have any feelings of, no, I'm right with my intuition, I'm reading myself well, okay? This message is coming through like, it is time to reevaluate that. It is time to reevaluate your feelings, your emotions, your wisdom, your understanding of what is and what is not, and to read things in a different way. Here are my suggestions of action items. Read the energy. You can read the actual energy. You can read the physicality. Okay, I'm going to read behind the lines of our last conversation. So maybe if it's about this, you go, okay, the last time that we talked, this is what was said. This is what I actually heard. This is what my energy told me I was hearing. I heard this instead of those words that were actually spoken. This body language told me that, this energy told me that, this, whatever it is, just saying it out loud in a totally different way in separate words. You can also do this when you're like just in your life of what are you feeling in general? What are you feeling right now? Put it into new words and then start to investigate. Start to dig around a little bit. Okay, if some part of my brain were just saying I felt this way, but actually I felt a different way, maybe my brain says, oh, you're sad and you're panicked. And then the actual feeling, oh, actually, oddly, I feel at peace with this. I feel at peace with where I am. Oh, interestingly, actually, just investigating what you're really feeling and what you speak out loud about what you're really feeling, and then any alternate realities that might coexist. Our high priestess lives in the gray area. There's the dark pillar and the light pillar, and she's the in-between. She's sometimes called the third pillar, and she is close to the veil. So she is getting more information. She is getting deep intuitive hits. She is reading things that that other people might not be able to read, or that might not be conventional ways of communication that she is reading and seeing. So this is saying there might be it is time to sort of take some action steps towards getting right with your deep understanding of yourself, of this person, of the situation, of everything going on in your life, any other stressful things going on in your life, anything that feels like it deserves attention. Okay, then we had the Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel like there might be some alternate masculine energy coming into your sphere. Now I asked for action items. So I feel like two things here. First of all, you could take this mantle, that you can step into some of your masculine energy. I'm not feeling a whole lot of masculine energy based on the cards we've pulled, that you're in some deeply divine feminine energy. And it might be time to step into some of your masculine energy, which is a little more focused. It is a little more consistent. It is like, hey, I'm going to just have a routine. I'm going to have this routine. I'm going to show up for my routine. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to have an investment mindset. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest my time into things that I actually wanted to go towards. I'm going to look a little bit big picture and look a little away, askance from just, my feelings and emotions, and look a little more towards the end result that I want, even though I love process versus outcome. But still, we love that divine feminine energy, but this is saying you might want to step into some of that masculine energy. However, I also think if there is somebody who is of interest right now outside of this person, that might be, as an action item, a point at which you might want to say yes, or talk to them, or have if this is the little, green flag, this would be the little green flag. Hey, maybe it's time to make a move on that person and just play around and see. It doesn't mean that that's going to be your person, or that's, or that's even turning down this other person. You might need a little reset. You might need to step into a little new romantic energy. There might be something there. So action items. Action items, 6 of Cups. And our 6 of Cups is a card of nostalgia. It is a card of feelings and emotions, as our cups are. It's like two young, youths sharing and giving, and this is in a reversed position for you. So as an action item, I think that there might be a part of you that might feel, just be curious about this, disconnected from your past of who you felt like you used to be. And I do want you to go way, way back to that childhood back, innocent back, and that could be teenager back, anywhere in there that just feels like, hey, I was really innocent at that time. I was really innocent about romance. Maybe this is about your first love or your first crush or your first, but there might be a part of you that feels really disconnected from that person, that version of you, that it might be time to reconnect with. So I would suggest doing something that you did around that time. If around that time you wrote a lot of poetry, this would be a great time to write some poetry. If around that time you listen to certain music, if you have songs in your mind of oh yeah, this was my first crush song. I listened to this on repeat over and over again. I got that, and I just listened to it over and over. And it might be time to listen to that music again. I'm starting to think of all sorts of things coming up, and I'm sure you are too. Jot those down right now. Put those on your playlist. Maybe take a walk around and listen and just see what comes up for you emotionally. This might be connected to that High Priestess reverse energy, that there might be something deeply connected with this. So it might be time to reconnect with that younger version of yourself, that innocent version of yourself, that nostalgic version of yourself, and feed into that a bit, and really maybe reclaim pieces of that and let yourself have love. Maybe you want to have a conversation with that version of yourself. Give a little love, give a little mothering, give a little whatever it is that you needed at the time. Maybe have a little conversation. But I think that would be a precious, wonderful thing to do today. Please write in the comments if you plan on doing any of the above, any of that. Okay, also I'm going to do 2 oracle cards for us. But before I do, we have to do something for our High Priestess energy. What do we put as an emoji for the High Priestess energy? Boy, she's got a lot of... is there a throne? Let's do a throne. Let's do, what do we want to do? I really need to study all the emojis so that I know what all of the emojis are so I can go to those. Okay, so I'm going to say drop an emoji of your choice for that High Priestess energy, something that represents intuition. This could be those little sparkles. I'll suggest the sparkles since it's good to guide you somewhere if you need it. But whatever feels right to you that is into that High Priestess energy, just to say like, I hear you. I hear you, 3 pulls. I hear the message. Even if I don't agree with it yet, I hear it. Let's pull some oracle cards for you. First of all, I'm dipping into my Angel and Ancestor deck, and actually let's just prep that other deck, falling out of frame as I do it. Okay, over here. Okay, so actually I'm pulling this card first because it's already in my hand. So I'm pulling it, not looking at it. I'm gonna have to wait. Power of the Elements card. Angel and Ancestor deck is coming first because I said she was coming first. And that's what we got. So we have Moon. Take note of intuitive messages. Moon would be a good drop too. Moon. Take note of intuitive messages. Do I have to say anything about this? 3 High Priestess pulls, intuition, deep understanding of reading, close to the veil. Take note of intuitive messages. There is something really, really important waiting for you in your own intuition. Something that's already there. It's not something you have to, go searching for out there. It's in here. You got it already, and it's important. These cards could not be more clear that there is something very important for you. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please like this video. Thank you. Inspiration is your other card. Breathe your inspiration into the world. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this was pretty clear and pretty direct, wasn't it? I'm going to make sure there's a link below for an X reading if you wanted to get some more insight into this specifically and this person. But also, I think you have your work cut out for you. I think you've got a gorgeous 24 hours of deep diving into your soul to find some answers, because there is something really trying to reach out to you. And I would love to hear about that. You don't have to tell me what it is that came up. If you want to, I'd love to hear it. But if you just want to say, hey, yeah, I did a search. I spent time with my soul, and you know what I found? I found something that has changed everything. I would just, or no, there was nothing there. I'm already in tune with my intuition. That was all wrong. I'd love to hear that too. Okay, I'm sending you off into your day, full of intuition, guidance, every good thing that you are destined to find to help guide you and lead you to what it is you desire most. Okay, I'm going to see your precious self again so very, very soon. Mwah. Mia.